Morning. Hope that everybody is having a fantastic start to your week. And if you have chosen to start your week with me, I definitely appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to today's training. So today I wanted to chat about business owners. One of the biggest complaints that we hear from our clients is about their lack of time. So today's quick training we put together is all about fixing part of that issue. In today's training, we're going to be covering easy ways to get back at least 2 hours of a week with your time with content planning. Now, this isn't a complicated process, and it's definitely not revolutionary. But when you do it, and when you do it consistently, you will not only get the benefits of getting time back, but you're going to get a lot of your mental bandwidth back so that you can focus on other revenue generating activities, which I think we can all say, as business owners, we all want to always focus on revenue generating activities. So before we dive too far in, if you are watching this and you're wondering, who is this person and why is she telling me about this? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julie Pierson-Fields, and I am the president and founder of Absolute Holdings Group. We are an international and national award-winning marketing agency. What that translates to is that my team and I work with small to large organizations just like yours, both nationally and internationally, to help grow their brands through strategic marketing. And yeah, content creation, a lot of content creation. So what I'm talking about today, when I'm talking about content planning, this isn't something that I just am talking about because it's a trending topic or whatnot. I'm talking about this because it is something I believe wholeheartedly in. And if we did not do this for our team, for our clients, we couldn't do what we do, and we could not handle the amount of clients that we handle. So again, what we're talking about is not anything revolutionary. This is not something that you're going to go and be like, man, they just shifted my entire paradigm. No, this is the nitty gritty. But a lot of times as business owners, you can attest the nitty gritty is what gets you to the next level in your business. So let's dive in, and we're going to touch on 3 basic concepts today. 1, what is content planning? 2, the tools that you will need to do it. And 3, a very basic workflow. Now, again, this is not an in-depth training. This is just an overview so that you can see how this could benefit you and your organization. So pretty much, so today, again, today we're going to cover what is it, what do you need to do it, and how do you do it? Pretty simple, right? It is. So first and foremost, content planning is simply taking the time to create all of the content your organization will need for the coming weeks, months, however you map it out. Now, I will go ahead and tell you that for our clients, we always do a month, if not a quarter out, depending on inventory turns, things like that, if they're product-based. For a lot of people, a month out at first is intimidating, but once you see the benefits, you're going to love it. So this includes, but it's obviously not limited to, social media content, blog content, video content. If you do SMS campaigns, if you pretty much anything that you are putting out as an organization. And I use the term organization. An organization can be a solopreneur. If you are a one-person shop, this applies to you just as much as if you are a 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 employee organization. Any content that is public-facing or that is forward-facing that you can go ahead and create a plan for and go ahead and create ahead of time is time that you're putting back in your pocket down the road. So, and again, another benefit of planning your content out ahead is that not only can you batch the work, which means that it's more time efficient, and we're all about time efficiency, but it also allows your content is more cohesive and more organized. And the reason that that is so important is that if your clients or your potential clients are having to guess what it is that you're wanting them to do or what it is that the purpose of that content is, you're not serving them. And you're at the end of the day, not serving your bottom line, because confused potential customers rarely ever become customers. That conversion typically does not happen. Confusion is the enemy of success. So you need to make sure that all of the content that you are creating, that it always serves and works toward your end goals and your audience. Because otherwise it just becomes noise, and we all have way too much noise going on. So again, content planning is simply taking the time to plan out all of your content ahead of time. I know you're sitting here rolling your eyes and going, why am I even watching? This is not revolutionary. It's not, but it's simple, and simple, actionable steps create results. Now, so the next question is, what tools do you need to do this? And I know some of you are probably thinking, Julie, you're an agency. You have all sorts of tools that you've purchased because, you have to have them for your clients. And yes, we do. We do have a lot of softwares that we utilize because we are an agency. Now, you don't have to have these tools. And so some of the ones we're going to go over, some are paid, yes, and some are free. And anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge proponent of free. If you can utilize something and it works at a free level, use it. So pretty much what you'll need is a spreadsheet, or for us, we use Google Sheets because it is a very collaborative effort within our team. We have multiple people touching every account. But again, if you are doing everything on your own, a spreadsheet is totally sufficient. And at the end of the day, the goal is, if you already have a tool, use a tool you already have. There's no need to go out and buy new tools unless after you get into this and you realize that there's a way you can save time with a different tool. But going into this, do not invest in any additional softwares or tools that you don't have to. And especially ones that are very convoluted or have a lot of training. You may have the best of intentions in saying, I can do that. I totally want to learn Photoshop. Quite frankly, that's a learning curve. As a business owner, it may not be the best usage of your time. So again, a tool is only as good if you use it. If you do not use it, don't spend your money on it. Don't spend your time learning how to use it. So when you're starting out with this, and as you're figuring out your battle rhythm, take your time to use the tools you have, and then see what you might need. And then from there, upgrade or alter your tools. So again, we use Google Sheets. Excel is totally sufficient. Then for checking the language, the verbiage, the grammar, Grammarly is one of our go-tos. There's a lot of others that we will utilize, but Grammarly for checking just your straight up grammar is one of the best options. And there's a free and a paid version. We obviously use the paid, but you can use free, and it's totally sufficient. Now, as an agency, we love Adobe. So the Adobe Suite, we utilize that, but that's something that as a business owner, you don't need to be spending your time working on mastering all the fine, all the stuff in Photoshop or InDesign, which InDesign you would not be using for a lot of this. Illustrator, those are programs that, while they're super powerful, are not something that I would say is the best usage of your time at this point. So two free tools they have a free and paid versions that our team uses for our clients to help create images, and that we love, Canva and Easel. If you never checked out, I know a lot of people have heard of Canva, but if you've never heard of Easel, go check them out. EASIL. They are lovely. And their stuff is fabulous. So again, for us, the three platforms that we utilize to create social media imagery, the Adobe Suite, Canva, and Easel. Then if you're wanting to do video, again, I think everybody gets caught up that they have to have these really high-end polished videos. And yes, you do. But there's also a benefit to having video that works. And so some fantastic options that we really like and we use for several of our clients. Obviously, you can do video in some of the other apps, but Wave.video and InVideo are both excellent options. If your head is starting to spin, that there's too many tools, take a breath, take a step back. Really identify your platform and your audience. And when you know those two, then you can really hone in on the type of content that will serve your audience. Not all audiences want all types of content. So learn your audience and then figure out which content suits them. All right. So next, obviously we have the tools on the creation of the content. Now you have the tools on the scheduling of the content, because it doesn't do you any good if you create the content and you don't schedule it, right? All right. So we typically recommend for social media, for Facebook and Instagram, to leverage the power of the native scheduling software Creator Studio. There are tons of softwares that will schedule this for you. However, we really enjoy Creator Studio. We've never had any heartburn with it. And where it is technically a native means that's in the app, where it's a native scheduler, you will reap the benefits. Again, there's a lot of other softwares that are fantastic, and we use them as appropriate per client. But for the most part, we really like to schedule Facebook and Instagram natively. Pinterest, there's really, there's a lot of options, but there's two as far as I really like to talk about. You can schedule natively in Pinterest, and that's totally fine. It is a little time consuming. And so from our perspective, and scheduling natively is free. However, if you're putting an emphasis on Pinterest, which if you are not, tune in on Wednesday, and I'm going to explain to you why you should be putting an emphasis on Pinterest. We highly recommend Tailwind. It's not very much. I think it's $7 or $8 a month. I don't know. My bookkeeper can tell me. But pretty much we've hit a point where we will not take on any Pinterest client without Tailwind. To us, it's that important. LinkedIn, they do not have a native scheduling capability right now, which I know. I'm so excited when they do. So LinkedIn and Twitter, you'll need to utilize a third-party scheduling software. Okay, now WordPress, if your website is in WordPress, so if you're creating blog content as well, and we'll talk on blog content later this week, then again, as far as blog content, you can schedule that pretty much on any of the website platforms. You can go ahead and schedule your blog. Again, getting everything scheduled as much as possible. Your email software, you can schedule through that. So if you're using my brain just left me, like ActiveCampaign or any of those, ConvertKit, you can go ahead and schedule everything, and you should schedule it. Then for if you're doing text message marketing through that software, you can schedule. So you have all the options. So anyway, now we get it. Now we want to touch on, you have the tools, you know why you need to do it, and now the workflow. And again, this is not revolutionary, y'all. And this is something that take this process and customize it for your business's needs. So for the workflow, you're going to create your content overview. And what that more or less does is you plan out your month, and okay, if we send an email every Tuesday, and we need social posts every day, and we need video every Friday, or however that works, go ahead and chart that out so you know not only the amount of content that you need, but kind of the content buckets it needs to fit into. If you are talking in your email about a release of a new product or a new service, then you want to make sure that your social posts leading up to that and after that are touching on that as well, and the benefits, and making sure your customers have clarity as to how that product or service will help them, and how what's in it for them, what's in it for me. Anyway, that's a whole different training right there. So once you have your content overview and you know the quantity and the categories that you need, then I highly suggest on day one, you create the content overview. On day one, you also write the copy. The copy, for those of you who are not in the marketing world, that's the written part, only the written part. And that can be your subject lines of your emails, all the emails, the social media copy, all of that. Some people recommend starting with images first. We go the opposite way. We've seen too many people get stuck on trying to they get this one image in their head and they try to get it to fit a post, and it's not a good fit. And you have to be willing to say it's not a good fit and walk away. So anyway, write the copy, day one. Again, we do ours a month out. So if you're doing a month out, this is the timetable we would recommend. Pause after you write the copy. Ideally, have someone else review the copy if possible. If not, run it through Grammarly, but at least take a couple hours, step away from it, and then come back and look at it with fresh eyes. Once you have the copy good to go, day two, create your images, your creative. Again, blocking out a little bit of time on each day makes this such an easier, and you can batch it and just be done. Once you create the images, again, if you have the luxury to do so, pause a day, wait to review. Ideally, have someone else take a look at it just to make sure that everything is spelled the right way, that the right terms are used, the right tenses are used. Again, as a professional copywriter, I can tell you the number of times that I've been in a rush and you make a tense error or you do something so simple and silly and you hate yourself for it because you're just like, I knew better. But you get in a rush and you just have to get it done. So then once all that is done, you've taken a look at it, schedule it. Too easy. And as soon as you schedule that round, go ahead and set aside time for the next content creation cycle. Again, taking time to do this every month is a huge benefit to your business. I know it sounds like a lot up front, but your business will benefit and you'll get your mental bandwidth back to focus on other revenue generating activities. If you would like to attend, I'm going to be putting on a workshop here in the next couple of weeks on a really in-depth content planning, tracking, and how you do it, and really getting into the nitty-gritty of digging into the exact types of content that will serve your business and creating that content and making sure that it is answering the questions your clients are asking. Comment below and we'll send you the information for that workshop. And if you are not already part of our free Facebook group, Practical Marketing for Business Owners, hop on over to Facebook and just look up Practical Marketing for Business Owners. We have trainings and tips and all sorts of goodies for business owners to help keep you ahead of the marketing curve with practical and actionable tips and ideas and tools. And again, thank you for starting your Monday here, and I hope that you have a